It seems the necromancer Alasan underestimated you. I was hiding outside the lighthouse. After you disrupted the ritual, I went in and found Alasan's notes. I think I know where the Withered Hand has taken the third Ansei ward. Hunding's Watch. The Withered Hand is seeking out the birthplaces of the Ansei who forged the wards. Just as Alasan did here, they can use these locations to corrupt the wards. The third Ansei, Halela, was born near Hunding's Watch. I am sure of nothing, but this is my suggestion for where you should begin your search. There is a wise woman in Hunding's Watch, Priestess Sermon. Perhaps she can give you more insight. Since both Alasan and Uwatha have been dealt with, the Withered Hand may be considerably weakened. Perhaps the third Ansei ward is closer at hand than you realize. If the gods are with you, I believe you will recover it quickly.
It is good to see you again, my friend. Now I understand why Tuwaka bid me to come here to Hunding's Watch. It is good to see you again, my friend. Now I understand why Tuwaka bid me to come here to Hunding's Watch. If you are to save the Alik'r Desert from the Withered Hand, there are things you must learn from the spirits of this place. Yes, many of them. And pilgrims come from all over Hammerfell to honor them, the heroes of our greatest wars. It is usually a quiet affair, but when one such as you arrives, spirits of friend and foe alike awaken to create a portrait of the past. To teach you, if you are to be champion of the Alik'r, you must understand the spirit of this desert and its people. Tuwaka says you must walk in the steps of our heroes, battle the spirits of the enemies they faced. Then you will understand. First, you will face the Nidic peoples. When the regatta first crashed on these shores, the Needs were first to challenge them. Fight the Nidic soldier spirits, claim their essences, and use them to summon and face their leader, War Chief Hakon.
I need help!
In our fight against the Needs, we saw the raw power of defiance. We came to respect Tamriel and its warriors. You must now battle the giant Goblinkin. The Regada's long road to conquest was paved with thousands of these beasts' corpses. Such things are difficult to imagine, yes. In those times, goblins were mighty beasts, and their cruelty was not tempered by cowardice as it is now. Their filthy strongholds littered the sands of Hammerfell like a pox when the Regada arrived. Horrible indeed. Our Yokudan ancestors could not tolerate such a blight on their new homeland. They would suffer no rivals, and so one of their mightiest heroes, Frandar Hunding, rallied the swords of the Regada to slay the beasts. Tuatha claimed him during one of the bloodiest battles of the campaign. But his son, Divad, filled with wrath over the slaying of his father, soon rose to take command of the Regada. He swore to avenge his father, no matter the cost. The Song of Divad tells us that he and his band of sword singers worked their sacred forges and consulted eldritch tomes for many long years to create 5 great swords. With these blessed blades, the Regada forever vanquished the giant goblins. Well, Tuatha tells me that you must do battle with the spirits of the long-dead giant Goblinkin. To what end? I do not know, but only fools doubt Tuatha's wisdom. In our fight against the hideous goblins that we came to love the desert and its simple beauty. Now you must face the proud orc warriors of ancient Orsinium. The fight for the orc city proved to be one of our greatest trials. It is the heart of orcdom in Tamriel, settled at the foot of the Hrothgarian Mountains. It is a city of simple things, towering and cold. It has been razed and rebuilt countless times. The orcs are a tenacious people. Conquerors is a strong word, but yes, of course they were. Our ancestors and the Bretons laid siege to the city for 30 years before finally breaching the walls and razing the city. The orcs proved to be fearsome adversaries. You must face the ancient orcish specters in battle, and then summon and defeat their leader, General Thashaga. Tuatha says there is great wisdom to be gleaned from this. swords of Yakuda were not often sheathed. A long siege of Orsinium taught us the value of patience. Now you must face the forces of the Breton king, Joal, a treacherous asp, whose lust for power led to broken alliances and countless sorrows. He was the king of Daggerfall during the siege of Orsinium. The embers of the Orcish hold had not even cooled before he took up arms against our ancestors, his former allies. He was slain by a heroic sword singer at the Battle of Bankarai Pass. You must slay the perfidious spirits of King Joal's Breton army. Then King Joal himself, I suspect. Tuwaka shall be watching.
Your purpose, now you will die. Can't rely on magic. Change your strategy.
Joal's betrayal taught us yet another virtue. Caution. Wariness. We remain slow to trust, but loyal beyond measure. You have reached the summit. The Make-Way God sees much at this height. Have you learned the greatest lesson of this place? The greatest lesson of Hundig's Watch is this. Wars are fleeting, but honor is eternal. The dunes of time are ever shifting. Kings rise and fall. Cities are raised and rebuilt. Alliances are forged and broken. But honor, glory, legend remains. Your valor strikes a mighty bell. The heroes have come here themselves. Nakela Leki, Derek Hallen, and both Frandar and Divad Hunding. Their spirits have come here to meet you, to challenge you, and to teach you. You have performed very well in your trials, my friend. But Tuwaka says the spirits of this place have more to share with you. Your valor strikes a mighty bell. The heroes have come here themselves. No, you will not cross blades. The sword singers were as much mages as warriors. They sought strength of body and of mind. These spirits will speak to you. Choose your words with care, though. Tuwaka says they seek to teach and to test.
The blades are forbidden. We must not use them.
Without them, our people, our civilization will die.
Taking up those blades may lead to something far worse than death.
All choices exact a toll, Wayfarer. Some are trivial, but some linger for generations. I was forced to drink from a bitter cup in my time, and all Redguards had paid the price. I wonder if you would have made the same choice. Giant goblins, beasts thought conquered by Divad, have returned. The fight goes poorly. You know the location of powerful magicked blades, but they are dangerous. They were hidden for a reason. Do you seek out the blades, or fight on without them? You would have met a glorious end. We chose the blades and destroyed the beasts. But as a result, the Shahai, our spirit swords, were forever destroyed. Centuries of wondrous tradition was snuffed out. I must bear this weight, always.
The goblins approach, my lord. They will slaughter our scouts.
We must hold this pass or the war is lost. Their sacrifice will be remembered always.
Many of our noblest warriors will be slain. How can you turn your back to them?
A goat will run if you strike it. A jackal may bite if you give chase. Only man can choose to do nothing. The path of restraint is often the hardest. I pose to you a question, one that still haunts me. You are a scout for a great army, perched on a mountainside. In the pass below, a band of enemy soldiers slowly approach the position of your dearest friend. Do you abandon your post to help your friend, or do you remain hidden to report the attack? Yes, your friend may die if you do not render aid. But if you fail to report the assault, is not the entire army put at risk? How many men could lose their lives for this one soldier? One's loyalties are truly put to the test.
We must consider negotiation, my son.
To the dogs with that! Hira has killed my mother. He killed your wife.
What you say is true. But many more wives and sisters will die if we take up the sword.
This cave has made a coward of you. We must fight!
To choose for oneself is simple. To choose for a nation is hard. The heaviest blade is as a feather compared to the trust of one's people. Abide with me and listen carefully. A tyrant threatens your people. If you submit to him and become his willing thrall, your people will be shown mercy. If you attack, you and your people will be driven from your homeland and exiled to the sea. What do? I too choose to attack. But all choices bear a cost, Wayfarer. When the last sword was sheathed in the shadow of Mount Hatu, the dead were beyond counting. Many more were lost at sea during the Exodus. Was the price of honor too high?
I spent my early years as a maiden of a spirit blade. As early as I can remember.
Great heroes often carry the greatest regrets. They lie buried in the sand with the bones and broken blades, hidden, forgotten. I had many stories to pass on, but only one is known. Hearken to me. You have won a great battle and covered yourself in glory, but you are gravely wounded. A magical memory stone will allow you to record your last thoughts. Do you think of the battle recording history, or do you immortalize your beloved family? Family is paramount, yes, but are not all Redguards bound by blood? In immortalizing your own family, you may have robbed a civilization of one of its greatest glories. The price of legend is high. The battle is celebrated, but my family is lost.
Tuwaka tells me the heroic spirits have returned to their slumber. Ah, only Tuwaka has such knowledge, my friend. I could barely hear you from here. Luckily, Tuwaka has shared some of his wisdom with me. Tuwaka tells me that you are bound to the greatest of Red Guard virtues, honor and loyalty. You are drawn to great summits and glorious ends. Hold fast to that courageous spirit. But know that sometimes we must make sacrifices for the greater good. What? No! I simply thought you'd like to know what Tuwaka thought of you. He is an excellent judge of character. No. The real lesson of these heroes is that legend always carries a price. You must be prepared to pay that toll when it comes. Tuwaka extends his hand. You need only enter the portal, and you will be transported back to the desert below. Walk.
Please, tell me you have seen her. Shiri, the scholar's apprentice. Have you seen her? She had the ancient text from the Withered Hand necromancer at Tava's Blessing. She was supposed to go back to Bergama, but she never made it. We knew Shiri believed the Third Ward was here, and that you came this way, so we were hoping. Alas, there is one other place she might be, but I am too weak to make the journey. Will you take on the search for Shiri in my stead? It is not just Shiri. It is the text she found at Tava's Blessing. Scholar Zore says it must be kept away from the Withered Hand. Shiri has a cousin in Satakalam, Nahira. Please, you must go and see if Shiri is there. Thank you, my friend. Prince Azah said you were indispensable. I now see why. You do an old soldier a great favor by helping. I hope Shiri is not hurt, and even more so, I hope that text has not been taken again by the Withered Hand.
What do you want?
The guard before they get away!
Are unfamiliar to you.
Scatter!
For glory!
What happened here? This is terrible. Did the Imperials do this? I hope Shiri was not here. Did you find any evidence that she visited? The leaders of the Withered Hand? But that would mean... Shiri is one of them too? A necromancer? You think... Tears of Set, with that text, and we have no idea where she is. This is unthinkable. Shiri came to me only a few months ago, but she seemed so dedicated. Of course she was. She was studying the Ansei wards. How could I not have seen this? I hope we find her before she does something... I just don't know. Her brothers are dead, and we have recovered 2 of the Ansei wards. Does she have the 3rd? Is the Withered Hand now under her command? Was it all along? There are so many questions. I will need time. Time we don't have. I'm not sure. Perhaps the Motalian necropolis? Her father's remains are there. Yes, that may be where Shiri has gone. It is just on the other side of Satakalam. After the Imperials are driven out of the city, getting into the necropolis will be easier. I just don't know. Her brothers are dead, and we have recovered 2 of the Ansei wards.
Seem to be making a lot of enemies lately.
Something wonderful about wandering the city's streets with no destination. That's the last of them.
This bird'll do nicely.
The Withered Hand comes with Satakal's blessing.
Shiri, I do not know.
Satakal was the first serpent. The first.
Shiri,
I do not know this name, nor do I know anything about any Ansei ward. I know only that Satakal will soon devour himself. Devour us all. We must warn them. Or must we? No, it matters not.